My first day working the Michelin rated spot, I had like two steaks on the grill. I'm standing there. I start clicking my tongs, right? And chef walks behind me, slaps me in the back of the head. First off, I'm like, what? I know this man didn't touch me. I turn around, he's like, don't do that shit no more in my kitchen. I was like, don't touch me again.
Today, we have the honor of hosting James Barnett, who works as a professional chef. It's truly an honor to talk to someone who's at the top of their class, from working in Michelin-rated restaurants to working under athletes, celebrities, high-profile clients. Man, thank you, brother, again, for taking the time to sit down and educate the masses about what you do, man. I really, really appreciate you being here.
Of course, man. Thank you. It's an honor to be on here with you.
Awesome, man. So getting into it, what first sparked your interest into cooking, and how long have you been doing it professionally?
Professionally, probably around 8 years now. Probably 4 of that's been private. I think what got me into it is basically like when I got out of the Marine Corps, I was trying to find that niche again, like what I wanted to do, where my life was going to go. I had always had like a passion for cooking and food. I mean, I grew up with my grandparents, so I was always in the kitchen with them. So I think that's where it overall came from. And that's what, when I got into kitchens and restaurants and stuff like that, that's what kept me there.
So when you were in, did you think about like, hey, when I get out, I'm going to be a chef? Or did you have any other goals, or was that primarily like the focus?
No, that wasn't the overall initial goal when I got out. I actually was studying to be a respiratory therapist and work in hospitals at the time too. I was doing a lot of like private practice stuff as well, working in homes with various different types of clients. Probably like a year or two after, that's when I was really like, this isn't what I want to do, you know? So I was trying to find what made me happy. And then like, I mean, I was already cooking a lot at home. I've been cooking my whole life, but I think it was my wife telling me like, you know, you're really good at this, right? And you know, usually when your wife tell you something, like it's time to actually listen. And then I started working in restaurants, and I think it was the fast pace of restaurants, working in those type of restaurants, that was like, it kind of like reminded me of the Marine Corps, because it's like you got to be set up, you know what I mean? Like you got to have that type of structure and organization to like actually run a kitchen. So I think that's what kept me in the kitchen the most, and that's when I knew it's like, this is what I want to do with my life.
So going back to that, man, take me to your first position as a chef. What was that like? How did you acquire the position?
So my first restaurant job, because like I didn't have a lot of experience, so like you're never just gonna be a chef. You never, no matter if you got culinary school under your belt, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you're gonna be the lowest person on the totem pole, basically. So when I got my first job, I actually had to work in the dish pit for a while. So like the chef wanted to see, like, he was like, I'm gonna test you. I'm gonna make you go through things that you don't have to go through on a daily basis, but I want to see that you really want this. So he put me in a dish pit. He wanted to see like if I was willing to move fast and all-time multitask. So like I went from dish pit to dish pit and prepping, and then like he put me on the line. And I mean, I was on the line, like I was working like pizza ovens. Then I had to learn this section, and it's as you progress, like they want to see like you keep really wanting it and keep wanting to improve yourself at the end of the day, and make sure like, but it's all about the team at the end of the day too.
Right. Just making sure that you're a valuable asset. And so would you say getting maybe thrusted into the fire like that, like, hey, like working your way up, that experience you gathered there, did that translate, or do you think maybe school does the things that, you know, on the ground experience gives you, or what's your opinion on that?
No, I mean, I definitely think just getting thrown into the fire. All right, from my personal standpoint, I think getting thrown in I think it was a better asset for me. Like, because it makes you work hard, it makes you learn, it just makes you overall like you're doing it. I think that's with any job. I think like on the job experience, a lot of time translates more than somebody that just graduated from a different college or just like getting certifications, because those certifications are transcending to what you're real life seeing at the end of the day. Um, I mean, you could probably test this. Like coming in, like when you go to school and stuff, it's not a fast pace. It's a slow pace. Like you're learning everything like at a certain pace that you're going through during school. Whereas like once you actually get in the kitchen, everything you learn is like now is full go. There's no like, well, I need to do it this way and make this certain change at this time. No, it's a lot of on the job adjustments that you're not getting from actual culinary school. Don't take it wrong. Like I went to culinary school too. Like I got my degree, but I can definitely say like the working side, actually working it, I think you learn more than what you would going slowly at school.
Yeah, I like how you said that, man. I mean, it's a lot with everything. Sometimes, you get thrusted with different scenarios and stuff that you can't get necessarily in schools. But getting back to everything, that first time you got put online, now you're actually doing what you dreamed of doing. Did everything go smooth, or like that first couple of times, or was there any awkward moments? Was there any mistakes?
Nah, there was definitely a lot of mistakes. Nobody is perfect. I don't care how long you've been doing the job. Like you're still gonna make mistakes at the end of the day. But like definitely, I mean, it was a whole new type of learning. Now it's like this stuff is like really coming at me, and I gotta like, okay, boom, 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 boom. You got 50 orders on the screen, half of it's red, green, yellow, and like that's basically the color code of like how long it's been up there. That red stuff is flashing at you, like, bro, I've been up here a while, and it it's kind of like it's an overwhelming feeling at that time because now like yeah, it's your career and that's what you want to do, but now like you're focused on everybody else. Like these people are the people that's like paying you at the end of the day, and like you're trying to make sure all these dishes go out in a great amount of time and that they're correct and that there's no mistakes. So I definitely think it was definitely overwhelming and a little scary, but I think by the end of that first night, I was like, I made it. I'm good. I can do this.
When did you catch your groove? How long in the game before you felt confident in yourself, or you felt like, hey, I got this?
I think for me, uh, I'm a I'm the type of person that's like I don't let stuff like hold me down or even like arguments and stuff like that. I'm able to brush stuff off easily. So I worked, like I said, in a Michelin rated restaurant before. That chef was never the easiest person. He's yelling at you, cussing at you, throwing saute pans. Like my first day on the job, he slapped me in the back of the head, and I was like, "Hold on now, like don't touch me." But I think those type of environments, like for me, it was like, okay, he not just doing this for the aesthetics of it. You know what I mean? Like he's doing this because like he been doing this. This is his life at the end of the day too. And it's like I said, at the end of the day, everything's about a team. Like you gotta have a good team around you or you're not gonna succeed in anything in life, whether that be personal or your job at the end of the day, your career.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. So you mentioned, working in those Michelin rated restaurants. And I understand like there's different pathways you can go once you start getting a little bit more skills, start getting a little bit, ahead in your career. Private chef, Michelin rated restaurants. How do you position yourself to get into those different positions?
It's I think it's about being reliable at the end of the day. Yeah, I think reliability is probably the biggest, and then actually grasping what you're doing every day. So like when it comes to reliability, am I showing up every day? Am I constantly trying to better myself at the end of the day? And that comes by like how you move up on, like I said, on the line or what chef's putting on you at that time. Like, are you able to handle that? And I think being able to handle that also came from my path through the Marine Corps at the same time. I mean, like I said, I did 2 deployments to Afghanistan. I got meritoriously promoted to corporal, and then combat meritoriously promoted to sergeant. So like I knew how to handle certain different things, but like I said, it comes back to being able to not have an ego and actually take what I was being taught. And then from there, trying to put myself in different situations, like, okay, like I can do this here. I know I can do this here at this level. So going from a Michelin rated restaurant, I went to a resort in San Diego and I started being the chef de cuisine at that resort. So now it's a whole different vibe. Now I'm worried about catering, the line, the actual members that are at that resort, their different plans that they have. And I think that's what overall led me to being a private chef at the end of the day.
Let me ask you, is there a ladder typically for people when they start off? I know you mentioned like, hey, I had to start off washing dishes, man. Like that's the grind that it takes to get there, right? Like, so typically for someone coming into the career field, is there always a ladder or is there someone that can maybe jump a few steps? What have you seen and experienced?
I mean, yeah, there's always a ladder. I think that's with any job that you have. You're never just gonna come in and be like, I'm the boss at the end of the day. I run this, like, unless you're running your own business, like, and then you are the boss at the end of the day. But I think if you're going, there's different pathways in every job that you do. I mean, if you want to be, if you're just trying to go straight to be a private chef, I mean, that's good for you. I mean, now there's different obstacles in being a private chef than there is being in an actual restaurant that you have to go through. Now, like going, like, say you're going the private chef route first. Now you're trying to build your name. You're trying to make good rapport with different clients. You're trying to get in with clients. Now you're reaching out to catering, event planners. You're reaching out to managers of athletes, actors. You're trying to get in with, like there's like placement places too that you can get into, and so they can help you find different jobs. Whereas like if you're going the restaurant side, unless you're opening your own restaurant, like you got to start from the bottom. You got to learn these ingredients that you're using on a daily basis.
You alluded to it earlier. You talked about, jumping into the private chef realm. How was that jump for you?
So for me, like I said, I was running a resort in San Diego. So like when COVID happened, you know how a lot of stuff closed down and it's not like the resort was up and running during that time. At the same time, I tore my ACL. I basically blew my whole knee out. So I was really at home just like trying to figure out what was next. My wife at the time had already been trying to get me to go private. But I think there was always that fear. Like in any time like you're just like trying to give up your job and like pursue your dream, it's just like it's a scary thing when you're trying to run a business. We got kids too, so it was more so for me, that was what scared me. It's like I got kids, bills. Is this gonna work or not at the end of the day? But I think once I healed up and we had been talking about it, I think we had a very good plan. I got in with like an agency, like I was talking about before. They placed me with a couple people, started posting a lot on Instagram, met some other chefs out in LA that worked with celebrities, basketball players, NFL players. Got to do like 4-day event with one of these chefs out in Encino, not Encino, but like Calabasas almost. And from there, like working with her was a blessing. Like I met different variety of chefs out in LA. Ended up getting in with Clutch Sports Group where I met my current client. Um, and then yeah, like I think just from there it's just like constantly progressed. That fear went away, but I know you asked about like how the transcendence was. It was definitely a lot to learn from there. Because now instead of the restaurant side where you're ordering off a logbook, you have certain menus already, all your menus are already planned out. You know what ingredients to get. Now you're working with these clients that they, as a private chef, you're not just cooking one thing every day. Now you're completely menu planning for these people. Now you got to shop for these people. Now you're just these people's lives on a constant basis. I mean, yeah, you're learning what they like, but that's what comes with it. Is just now how to source, where to go for certain things, learning your clients' expectations, how they eat, what they eat. Yeah, I think that's the biggest that I learned during that time.
So my question, to go a little bit further with that, how much creative control do you feel like you have over the meals as it pertains to now, private chefing? Is it, hey, I get to design what I want to design and then see how you like it? Or is it more so like, hey, this is what they want, this is what I got to do?
I think that varies on each client that you have. Some clients will tell you what they want every single day, and then some clients you have full menu control, and you send them a menu, and then they might tell you like, "Hey, I don't really want this," or I don't really care for how this is," but that comes with the learning process. I can say now that who I have as my client now, like I have full creative control. Like, I mean, it does tend to like I know what they like at the end of the day too, but I still can give them other things like, oh, you've never had this? Let's try this. And they'll go with it. They'll tell me, we weren't really feeling this, or nah, this ain't it. But I respect that more than anything. I'd rather have a client that tells me, like, I wasn't really feeling this tonight than a client that just, or tell you, yeah, but at the end of the day, they didn't really like it, or they don't really care for it, and then go about their day. But I'd rather have, look, any feedback is good feedback at the end.
Right. Right. Yeah. Obviously, to again, to make you better instead of having to play the guessing game, of like, hey, was that good? Was it not good? So I guess what I take from that is just about learning who your client is, and once you get a good feel for who they are, then it's just kind of like that trust rate between the two of you, and you kind of can let your creativity blossom from there, man. So let me ask
Yeah.
you, is there
'Cause I,
any? Oh, go
oh
ahead.
no, because I was gonna say like when you talk about trust, like at the end of the day, that's what the biggest thing is. I mean, is trust between you and your client at the same time, because I mean you're there for them at the end of the day. Like you're learning their routine, you're there for family moments, celebrations, and you're even there for heartbreaks. So like it's like learning your client. I think that's the biggest thing I've learned since being a private chef. It's not like you learn patience at the end of the day. You're like, yeah, it's your job. This is your business at the end of the day, but your client is your business at the end of the day. I feel like, and you're there for them, and it's not just about you anymore. It's about making sure that they're good in every situation.
Yeah, because I'd imagine you build relationship with the individuals. You're always around them, and so it becomes a little bit deeper than the job, I would assume.
Just
So, looking, back from where you're at now, um, a lot of accomplishments that you have now. When you were first thinking about getting into the career field, would you say that it's different than what you initially expected, or is everything pretty much rolling out exactly how you envisioned it?
I mean, no, it is definitely different. Like I said, like you learn patience throughout this because you are dealing with these people's routine. You're dealing with, so like I said, the celebrations, the heartbreaks, the ups, the downs. It's not just about the food at the end of the day. Whereas like you go into every job thinking it's just X Y Z, but it's never just X Y Z.
How do you deal with that pressure as far as like, obviously you feel, kind of what your client feels, but in the same sense as you as an individual, the pressure of messing up an order or meeting time suspenses, how do you go about dealing with that pressure?
I think I deal with things by saying this isn't how it always is. I mean, you know what I mean? Like I said, like you're dealing with these like the traveler. Like sometimes you have to travel. Sometimes there's longer days. Sometimes you get extra time off. Sometimes that's what I look forward to. I guess that's how I deal with all of my situations in life. I mean, I get a lot more time with my family now. So that's the things that drive me. It's like, and then my kids are happy. They're like, oh man, my dad does this. My dad does this. My mom does this. My mom does this. I think that's what drives me on a daily basis. Yeah, I think
So
that's
having that motivator, man, like that's what kind of gets you through. Hey, I might have messed up today, but I know that at the end of the day, my family's proud of me, and I get to bring this back to them.
yeah. I think that for sure. I always think like even just with the client, like okay, they didn't like it today. I'm gonna go harder tomorrow. You going like this tomorrow, like that. I think that's my mentality too. Like I try to take the negative and turn it into a positive. Like you know what I mean? Like okay, they didn't like this. Okay, this is why they didn't like this. Okay, so now I know what to do next time. And I think that comes with the type of client you have too. Like I was talking about earlier. Like I love that constructive criticism at the end of the day because that's not gonna do nothing but make me better at the end of the day. I'd rather you tell me like something's nasty, disgusting. Don't just tell me like, hey, I didn't like this, but like give me reasons. Like, okay, if you didn't like it, you wasn't feeling it because it's a this. Okay, we can move on, go to the next.
So, what's been your favorite part of the career field so far, and what's been your least favorite so far?
I think my favorite part is, like I said, I've met a lot of chefs, being able to meet a lot of different people, a lot of celebrities, athletes, and then my family getting to enjoy some of that as well, like getting to meet some of these people, um, getting to go to weddings and stuff like that. It's been an amazing journey. I mean, we even left California, moved to Philadelphia. Like it was a big change, but it's great at the end of the day. Um, I think the hardest thing also, like I said, it comes back to there's been times where even not just with my current, but with other clients, like being away from my wife and kids, like I miss birthdays sometimes. I miss holidays. Like I can tell you, last year, last December, like I left before Christmas. I missed Christmas. I missed New Year's. I missed a lot of different holidays, and I missed a couple birthdays of my kids. And it made certain situations like it comes down to like, is this really like what I want to do? Like I'm missing like important moments in life, but and then it comes back to the other side where it's like, oh well, if I go back to working in restaurants and stuff like that, I'm gonna miss it either way. So it's like you gotta weigh your pros and cons. And we love this side more because at the end of the day, I do get a lot more time home when I am.
Right, right, right,
And it's,
right. So it's almost reflective of your time in the military to a degree, man. Like maybe probably that's kind of where you learned a little bit of that, being able to, balance that out mentally, saying like, hey, I have to go and sacrifice this little bit of time to create this opportunity. So yeah, respect to that, man. So you kind of alluded to this earlier, um, and throughout the entire interview. But as far as downtime with the job, if somebody's getting into it, what would you tell them to expect? Do you feel like someone new to the career field can expect a lot of downtime, or is there a lot of grind hours that you would say to begin? Or,
it just depends on how much work you actually want to put in at the end of the day. If you're comfortable making XYZ, then stay there. If you want to be, I would say like myself, like I want as much as I can get. You know what I mean? I want to put my family in certain situations to where they're not in any situations at the end of the day. I would definitely say like young coming in, like learn, like work with these other private chefs, learn how they do things and what to take, what not to take from them. It's gonna be a grind. Like I said, when you're a private chef, your money comes off of your grind at the end of the day. How many clients are you willing to take on? And like how many private events are you trying to do? How many clients? if you're in the meal prep game, like how many meal preps are you trying to push out there? And it's all about that at the end of the day. Like your grind is what's going to make you, your name is what's going to make you at the end of the day. Your grind is going to keep putting you in different rooms at the end of the day. And I think that's where a lot of chefs need to understand at the end of the day too. I keep saying end of the day, but
Yeah.
I think, yeah, I think that's what a lot of chefs need to hear, need to learn. Like, it's not always going to be good. It's not always you're going to be hit home runs every time. Slow down, take your time, learn what you need to learn, and then when you are in these rooms, don't let yourself down. Don't let the door close. Like go through that door. It's going to be scary, of course. Like I said, I moved to Philly 2 years ago from California with no expectation at all. Just I knew this is what we was doing. I knew who my client was going to be, but everything else was in between. It's like moving my family, my kids, my wife. Like it's a scary journey, but it's always take those opportunities as they come, learn from those opportunities, and continue to grow.
Taking that risk, and yeah, I think that's what I'm gathering out of that, man. It's all what you put into it at the end of the day. So, um, someone starting off, how much can they expect to make? Would you say? I know that's super subjective, but
Yeah,
just general ballpark.
I think starting off like a good like private chef salary if you're consistent because at the end of the day consistency is key in this field. Probably around I would say a good like starting point would be 60, a good 60K, and then the end is endless. Like I was telling you before, it's all based off of your grind. Like how many clients are you willing to take on, and then when you have off time from those clients, are you trying to push for other clients or like private events, like where you're doing catering events? Are you trying to do meal preps on the side too? Like, are you trying to like what are you trying to do? Like if you're comfortable making that and staying in that one lane, that's good. That's great. But if you always want more, then there's other avenues, but it's how much work do you want to put in.
Right, right. Is there a type of person that you wouldn't recommend for the career field, like a personality trait or something that you've seen a lot of chefs fall off early for, or would you say, hey, this is generally a career field for anybody?
I'm not gonna say that. And I definitely feel in this field a lot of people are social media based, right? And it's great posting your content on a constant basis. I'll never deter anything from that. But there is also downfalls to where some clients don't want you to do that. Some clients don't want you to be in their house taking pictures 24/7. I mean, even if it is the food, they're in the kitchen with you a lot. A lot of these clients can cook and they just are busy. You know what I mean? Like a lot of these clients are foodies at the end of the day. Like my client now, he's a foodie at the end of the day. Like, and he can cook. So it's like, and his wife can cook. So it's like, you got to realize like these people don't need you at the end of the day. They want you just on your side too. But know that as a chef, I'm like, nah, you need me at the end of the day too. So there's difference how you gotta how you feel about the situation. I think I wouldn't say it's for the weak hearted at the end of the day either, because going back to before, you're dealing with these people's lives. Their routine is what your schedule is going to be. So if their routine changes to something else, you got to go with that. There's last minute travel situations. Like they might be like, hey, I've worked with clients that'll be like, hey, tonight we're going to New Mexico for a week. What? Where's this been for a month and 6 months that I've been here? Like, it's the constant changes that happen. Like diets might change, um, livelihood might change. They might go from being single to having a family. Like you never know. Like you just got to be able to. If you're not a person that deals with change and can change, adapt, I wouldn't say this is what's for you. But if you have that passion, if you're willing to deal with that, then I would definitely recommend it. I've worked with a lot of like new chefs, like trying to get them into places too. But that's what I like to do. I want to help. I want to help you grow. I want to help you see this side, and I want to see everybody win at the end of the day. So if I can help put you in a situation like that, that's what I'm gonna do. But if you can't take criticism and you can't adapt and change when it needs to be changed, and you can't follow simple rules like, hey, stay off social media doing this, this, and this, or you can't handle NDAs the right way, and that, I mean, a lot of these players, like I work with a lot of NFL players, like they have NDAs or certain things that you can and cannot do. I think a lot of people get too caught up in that and don't focus on the food as much. And that's why you see these people with constant different people, because of some people have problems with retention. And it's
Mm.
because you're not doing the XYZ. You're more focused on, like I said, social media is great and it does help you a lot. But sometimes people overdo it too much.
It's
That's
more of
what I'm.
the look at me rather than it's the like the
Yeah,
perfect.
yeah.
Okay.
It's all about your morals too. Like I'm not gonna sit here like these people value their privacy, they value their intimate times alone. Man, I value that too. At the end of the day, like I value time with my wife. I value time with my kids. I don't want a million people at my house all the time. Like
Yeah.
I'd rather just be at home and that's my peace versus constantly dealing with somebody else, you know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, absolutely, man. And to add to that, like something that you mentioned in the chat is getting yelled at, getting stuff thrown at you. I thought that was where Hell's Kitchen, like I thought that was all just for the show, man. So I would imagine having tough skin is something that you need to have too, because I mean, you got to be a professional at the end of the day and know that stuff comes with the job. So let me ask you, getting into that, what's been the craziest or most memorable story that you have so far as a chef that you can discuss?
my first day working in the Michelin, like the Michelin rated spot, he put me on a grill. And grill's not always the fastest. Like you don't want your food cooked super fast on the grill. So like I had like two steaks on the grill. I'm standing there. I'm like, I start clicking my tongs, right? And chef walks behind me, slaps me in the back of the head. First off, I'm like, what in the world is going on? Like, I know this man didn't touch me. And I turn around, he's like, don't do that no more in my kitchen. I was like, don't touch me again. It was just like one of those moments where it's like, it kind of take you back, like, bro, I beat you right now. Like, don't ever touch me. But then you gotta be professional at the same time too, because he's not just doing it to you. He doing it to everybody in the kitchen. They like, yes, chef afterwards. So it's like, all right,
Yeah.
I think that was probably the craziest. Like actually getting hit. I mean, like I said, I've dealt with soft tans like come flying back. Like he's like looked at plates before and been like, oh, this ain't it, and just slap it out your hand and tell you to go remake it. And it's just like, all right, yes, chef. Um,
Man, I thought that was. I'll be honest. I thought that was for TV, but that's real.
some chefs are really like. I mean, he is an old chef. Like he's a master chef. Like he's done everything. Like learned everything. And like as a master chef, you have to take that certification and like you have to really know what you're talking about. And he's a speaker for the James Beard Foundation, which is one of the high end chef like communities that we have. And he's well respected. So it's just like you got to deal with it sometimes. Like he's he's old school French chef at the end of the day.
If someone's watching this and wants to do what you're doing, what piece of advice would you give them?
Um, what piece of advice? I would say slow down. Don't don't try to force things faster than what they should be. Take your time, learn the path that you want to go, and don't shy away from the grind at the end of the day, because the grind is what's gonna build your name, and then that's what's going to put you in these other rooms with the different clients that you're looking to get with.
So before we wrap up, where can people find you if they wanted to, learn from you a little bit more or talk to you a little bit more about, some of the things you talked about?
My Instagram is at unfiltered_chef. You can definitely hit me there anytime you want events or just want to chat. So I'm there.
Enjoy the content? Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. If you have a career in mind you would like us to spotlight, send us a message on Instagram. We're always listening. Until next time, it's time to clock out.